welcome to another year of the Verde Valley Experience. I'm your host, Jennifer Cohen. Thank you so much for watching, and Happy New Year. All of us here at Verde Valley TV wish you a very joyous, prosperous, and healthy new year. It's time again for the Sedona Marathon, so start your New Year's health resolutions on the right foot by participating in one of the most beautiful races in the country. David Keeber, Assistant Race Director for the Sedona Marathon, along with Adam Gifford, the owner of Sedona Running Company, will be in the studio to give us all the details about this amazing event. And next on our show is advocate and historian for I Troop of the 10th Cavalry of the Buffalo Soldiers, Ed Lee. February is Black History Month at Fort Verde State Historic Park, and they will be honoring the Buffalo Soldier. With informative talks and demonstrations, history buffs won't want to miss any of the exciting happenings at Fort Verde. So Ed Lee will be here to give us all the 411. And from Cottonwood Parks and Recs, we'll have Jack Teel in the studio. Jack will be here to talk with us about the city of Cottonwood's volleyball team, their basketball team, their softball team. Looking good, Cottonwood. So much stuff is going on. Well, speaking of volleyball, you know, I'm actually banned from playing volleyball in about 3 states, but we'll talk more about that later. Then we'll have Nikki Miller and Mike Jacobson joining us today to give us all the detail about the 7th annual Benevet Bowling Fun Fest to benefit Prescott's VA Hospital. It's all happening out at Cliff Castle Casino's Shake, Rattle, and Bowl on January 30th and 31st. It's a great event raising funds to help our veterans in need. So grab your old bowling jersey and join in, won't you? Then we'll go on location with sound therapist Barbie Edwards. In part 1 of our Science of Sound segments, Barbie will discuss and demonstrate how frequencies and vibration made by playing instruments like a harp are healing to our bodies and our minds in so many ways. And we'll finish out our show today with musician, singer, and songwriter Ryan Biter. He plays a mixture of soul, gospel, rock, B&B, blues, everything, all rolled up into one. Ryan is sure to delight everyone's ears with his sweet voice, beautiful guitar playing, and wonderful personality. Ryan will perform live for us here in the studio, so make sure you stick around. We have David Keeber, who is the Assistant Race Director for the Sedona Marathon, and we also have Adam Gifford. Thank you so much for being here, gentlemen.
Thank you for having us. We're really excited.
You guys are busy right now.
Yeah, we're getting down to the final weeks of the preparations for the Sedona Marathon. This year, the marathon is going to be held on Saturday, February 6th. We've been holding it a little earlier in years past, but we're adjusting back to the first weekend of February. And that was our original plan. We diverged for a little while, and now we're back to that. So you can kind of mark your calendar for years forward to attend the Sedona Marathon 2017 and onwards.
Really?
Yeah.
That's nice of you to do that.
Yeah.
Makes it a little easier for those of you that plan ahead.
Yes.
So, excellent. And that has a lot going on, starting with the, when you start on February 5th with the packet pickup and the expo.
Right. And this year we're doing it at Yavapai College Sedona Center. It's closer to the race course. It gives us the opportunity to get people familiar with where the parking is and doesn't run them all over town. We'll have registration in one area and our vendors in another, our sponsor vendors. And then on race day, we're going to have a very big concourse with lots of vendors there, much more than we've had in the past.
Nice.
Yes.
That's a lot of fun. I hear that's a really big deal, the expo. I haven't had a chance to go, but I've heard that it's just mind-blowing, all the things that are available.
Well, you know, as sponsors, they have the opportunity to present their business, their wares, but we also have others who are coming in to show off their wares. Clothing, Adam's company is doing a lot of stuff, well, it'll be a surprise, so come on down.
Yeah, oh, I bet. And you know what I love is that you guys have been doing these free training runs, which is really super. I mean, you really do have to do a lot of training. Most people just can't get up and go run a marathon of some sort. But that you are offering scheduled and structured training runs this year. That's great.
Adam's in charge of those, and he's the smart one when it comes to running. I'm not much of a runner, so he knows exactly how to handle this. So.
Yeah, we've been doing the training runs for about 5 years now, and we do them 3 Saturdays in January leading up to the event. They're absolutely free. You don't have to register. You don't have to tell me about it. You just have to show up. I have the course marked. I've got an aid station out there, so you can run as much or as little as you want. I'll be out there in my car helping to support runners and heckling the ones that I know. And it's a fun event. We had 60 or 70 people last year at each one.
Wow.
So it's a fun day.
I think it's a good idea to run too on the training runs, because if you're not familiar with the course, it can be a challenging course. It is hilly. And so the opportunity to get an understanding of how to pace yourself based on where the hills are, it makes a lot of sense.
Wow, yes, that absolutely does. I have dates for those runs, January 9th, the 16th, and the 23rd, if you want to join in on the free training runs. They start on Navoti Drive. Is that correct?
Navoti Drive,
Navoti.
where the Sedona Medical Center is. And Adam, you probably got some more details in regards to how you get them organized. And
Yeah, it starts right by the Sedona Medical Center.
Sure.
And basically you show up, you want to be ready to go by 8. I give everyone some last minute safety directions, let them know where the aid station, where the water is, let them know that I'm out there if they need anything, and then kind of send them on their way. And it follows the course exactly.
Wow.
So it's a great way to get a preview of the course.
Yeah, that's a great leg up. You know what you're getting into.
yeah,
And psych yourself up.
Which isn't always good.
Yeah, a lot of people who come from out of town are oftentimes pretty surprised at the challenging nature of the course. It's not a course, it's not a race that gives you your personal best times, but it does give you the opportunity to really test your mettle.
I bet it does. And what kind of training tips do you suggest, Adam, for folks that want to do this particular marathon here?
My favorite one is to find a training partner that has very polarizing political views. You'll want to run faster.
That's an excellent tip. That's really an excellent tip.
I've got tons of
Makes
them.
me want to run faster. Well, what else you got? You got tons of them? Let's
You know,
hear
we're kind of a high altitude in Sedona. We're at 4,500 feet. A lot of people living Midwest, East Coast, California, they're not really used to the thinner air.
Right.
So it's to kind of train to that, it's to run with a cotton ball up one nose. Don't really do that.
Run with a cotton ball up what?
Let me drive.
Wow! Who'd have thought? I didn't realize runners were so funny.
Well, they're mad to begin with. So.
You kind of have to be, don't you?
pretty
Yeah,
much.
you know.
Yeah.
I run away from things or after things. That's my running experience.
Yeah.
Now, besides the expo that you've got going on Friday, you also have a pasta dinner, so you
Right.
can gear up. One of the training tips, that's okay. We won't be sticking spaghetti up our nose or anything like that. But if eating
Don't
it is a good
suggest that
thing.
Next year.
You'll be doing that trick. We'll have you on the show. You have the noodle that goes up the one nose and out the other.
I can do that.
Of course you can. So it's nice that you're going to feed everybody.
Yeah, Old Sedona has done the pasta feed. This will be the third year in a row that they've done this. They put on a great feed. It's $13, and it's all you can eat. And they've got quite an array of items on the menu. And it's very exciting to show up there and see all your competition the night before and kind of measure yourself against who's there.
The energy level there last year was crazy. It was a lot of fun.
I bet.
Yeah, and you know the kind of support that Old Sedona is providing us and other businesses throughout town. You know, this race is presented by Northern Arizona Healthcare. They've been a huge partner not only for the marathon but throughout the entire community, and we're extremely grateful, very lucky to have their support. One of the things that they're really eager to see happen is the youth running program. We have a program where the students from the schools in Sedona can register, and the registration costs for the runners, the kid runners, is covered by Sedona Community Foundation and Novo Nordisk, which have both given us grants. And Northern Arizona Healthcare is real excited about making sure that we're giving people new information and habits about a healthy lifestyle.
Wow,
So,
that's great. Yeah, and getting kids running early for sure. And the registration fees are very reasonable for the children under a certain age. It's only $20, and then it goes on up for adults for the full marathon up to around 80.
Right.
So it's very reasonable.
And there's a price bump at the turn of the year, so our urging is to register before December 31st and get the lower price.
Absolutely, definitely. So you've got to go to sedonamarathon.com because they can register there.
Correct.
They can find all the information that you need at sedonamarathon.com. You want to register now? You can save yourself a little money, and then you'll be prepared.
Right.
And you can start training with Adam. Make sure you meet him there on the mornings of January 9th, the 16th, and the 23rd. Free training runs. You definitely got to get into that. And of course, Friday, February 5th, everything starts.
Right.
Boy. Well, thank you, gentlemen, so much for being in the studio
Thanks for having us.
today.
We're very excited about the 11th annual Sedona Marathon presented by Northern Arizona Healthcare.
Congratulations, and good luck to you guys.
Good. Thank you.
Appreciate you. And we'll be right back, so don't go away. And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. Our next guest is Mr. Ed Lee, who is advocate and historian for I Troop of the 10th Cavalry for the Buffalo Soldier. Thank you so much for being here, Ed.
Correct.
Always good to see you.
Thank you. It's good to be seen.
And you look very handsome, of course, as always, in your uniform.
Thank you. It's a lot better to wear this in the winter than it is in the summer, being that it's all wool.
Because it's wool.
Exactly.
Wool. They made everything out of wool back then. How anybody made? No wonder we died before 40. We were wearing wool.
Actually, it served well because when the individual wearing it perspired, and there was a breeze, it would go through the wool and cool the person down a little bit. So they had an objective. Whether it worked or not, we don't know.
It's definitely cooling. I don't know how well you smelled, but a bit like an old goat.
That's right. That's right.
Person next to you wasn't having any fun, but So tell us, February is a Buffalo Soldier Month at Fort Verde. We're going to celebrate the history behind the Buffalo Soldier relating to the Fort Verde and just in general in history. Fascinating tale about the Buffalo Soldier. What can you tell us?
Well, first of all, let me start by just a minor correction. February is Black History Month. And then the fort then does the Buffalo Soldier arrangement. Now, I should let you know, tell you that African American soldiers, black soldiers, were involved in the Civil War. And there were 180,000 that recruited to serve the North.
Wow.
And of that 180,000, about 34,000 lost their lives. So now when the Civil War ended, when it was over, a lot of these troopers didn't really have any place to go. And it was at that period of time that the United States wanted to expand here in the Southwest. And they were calling for people that would enlist. And because most of the black soldiers didn't have any place to go for the most part, a lot of them then re-enlisted and then worked on the campaigns to develop the Southwest.
Wow.
And so for that, they started coming in this direction. And in 1866, do you mind me just going on like this?
Please do.
Prior to 1866, black soldiers were interwoven into regular regiments, but they were segregated within the regiments. And in 1866, Congress decided to segregate the black regiments and create regiments specifically for the black soldiers. So they created 2 regiments of cavalry, the 9th and the 10th, and they created initially 4, but then reduced it to 2 regiments of infantry, and that was the 24th and 25th. Now, they weren't really called Buffalo Soldiers in 1866 because no one in the United States, for the most part, knew of them until they came here to the Southwest. And then upon doing so, the native people, when there were skirmishes, well, I should start by saying they were sent out here to make roads and hang wire for telegraph and to do civil patrols to protect stagecoaches and things of that nature, and then additionally to facilitate skirmishes with the Native American people. Now, the Native American people at that time had only seen white troopers. They had never seen black or dark-skinned troopers. So they didn't know what to think about all of this. So the Cheyenne decided to call these black troopers, because of the color of the skin, the texture of our hair, and the ferocity in which we fought, or they fought, it put them in mind of the buffalo.
Wow.
And so that's where the name Buffalo Soldiers originated. And that was in around 1877. Wow. So because the black soldiers knew how much the native people revered the buffalo, they took on that moniker as something to be proud of. And so from 1877, Buffalo Soldiers is named that pretty much all black soldiers. But it was primarily for and from the Cheyenne, who we're dealing with black troopers here in this area.
Sure. That's amazing. Yeah, that's truly an honor to be named after the buffalo, the great buffalo. So.
Well, that's what they thought back at that point in time.
Yeah.
Now, I'm originally from the East. I knew nothing about buffalo soldiers, you know, until I came here.
Right.
And then with my volunteer work at the, am I talking too much?
No, you're doing great, Ed. I love it. No, that's exactly what I was going to ask you next, was how'd you get into this?
Yeah, well, you know, I sort of volunteer at the Fort Verde.
Yeah, just sort of.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, they have a lot of archival information there.
Yeah.
And I was able to determine that the 10th Cavalry was actually had a couple of troops that were posted at Fort Verde. And that's Troop I that you mentioned, and Troop M. Now, Troop I was posted at Fort Verde for about 3 years, from 1885 to 1888. And there wasn't much going on then. Pretty much any problems that they were having in terms of skirmishes and all, and the roads being built, were pretty much completed by 1888. So those troops, Troop, and the others were moved off to other locations.
Ah, but you were able to find all this out through your work there at Fort Verde, and now look at you, sitting there in uniform.
Yeah, and you know, I was never in the military.
No?
So I didn't know anything about rank, serial number, any of that kind of stuff. So then I decided to gather up literature and information. And these men were amazing.
Oh, yeah.
They were just amazing.
Absolutely. So how long have you been a buffalo soldier now?
A little less than a year.
Oh, is that all?
A little less than a year.
Seems like forever.
Yeah. And
that's
originally
so
I got involved with being a buffalo soldier for a troop that is located down in the valley. They're down in Mesa. And they are 9th Cavalry, Troop F. But when I started doing my historical gathering, I found out, as I just mentioned, that Troop I-10 was here.
That's great. There's so much more to talk about, really. We could keep going for an hour. If you want to meet with Ed, you can meet him over at Fort Verde. Right?
I volunteer every Sunday afternoon.
Well, there you go.
I'm
Absolutely.
there. Yeah.
And check out Fort Verde Historic State Park now that February is Black History Month. And in honor of that, they're doing some wonderful things in honor of the Buffalo Soldier. There'll be reenactors, some living history flag ceremonies, a vintage baseball game, military drills, all kinds of great stuff. So you want to go ahead and check that out. You can go to the website, azstateparks.com. And if you want to get a hold of Ed, you can always email him at buffsoldierlee@aol.com. You can get your fix, get your Buffalo Soldier fix right here with Ed. Ed, you're so sweet. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
we'll be right back with more of the experience, so don't go away.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. I'm now here with Jack Teel, who is the Recreation Coordinator 2 for the city of Cottonwood. Jack, thank you for being here.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
It's amazing they let you out.
Yeah.
We borrowed him for just a few moments here so you can give us all the information that we need to know about sports. Oh my gosh, you guys are sports crazy over there.
Yeah, we've got a ton of them.
Absolutely. So tell us what's going on.
Right now, we're actually in the middle of our youth basketball program. That runs from January through March. So that's going full swing right now, getting all the practices in, things like that. We're prepping for volleyball and softball coming up as well. So.
Wow. So tell us more about volleyball.
Volleyball, we started up beginning of January is the registration. We'll register that whole month of January, and then February we start playing games. It's one league, but we split it into 2 separate divisions, I guess. An A League and a B League. The A League is more your competitive teams.
Okay.
The B League, you're going to be more of your recreation. I just want to come out and play, have a good time type league.
Oh, fun. And what are the ages on those?
Well, it's any age. We do allow some 16-year-olds, but we're cautious about how many we allow. It's 1 or 2 per team. And we obviously have to fall underneath the NFHS guidelines too. If you're playing in high school, you can't play in our league, otherwise it makes you ineligible for that sport in high school. So we try to be very cognitive of that, so we're not interrupting any of those students' academics or any of their stuff through high school.
Sure, yeah, that's true. You know, I made a joke earlier. I'm actually banned in 3 states from playing volleyball.
Yeah.
I break noses.
Oh, no
and
good.
not mine.
No good.
And on my same team, on my side too. Well, you know, I'm 6 foot tall. I got like a 6 foot reach. It's you got to stay out of my way.
Yeah,
what can I say?
we've got some people who can hit that ball hard in our league.
Yeah.
There's a couple people that just get out of the way.
Yeah, right. You do. Okay.
I don't. I try to dig anything. I don't care where it's at.
Oh, that's great. It certainly is a fun sport.
It really is. It really is.
It's great for reaction time and jumping around, and you get going without having to run.
Yes.
You don't have to run a marathon, and you still get a very good workout.
Yeah. Small courts, 6 people out there, so
Absolutely.
you still got to move, but it's limited.
That is true, and such camaraderie. It's so nice to be on any sort of team and all the friends that you make.
Absolutely.
So, and if they want to get in on the registration for that, should they go to the website? Should they go to cottonwoodaz.gov?
Yeah, you can go onto the website. You can actually enroll in all of our sports and things on the website, and that'll bring you through our ActiveNet system, which will sign you up with all the registrations. The team registrations and stuff we take at the recreation center, so we can enroll the teams, get them into the system, and things like that.
Oh, very good. That's very good.
It's a lot of fun.
You're highly organized over there.
We try. Our front desk is highly organized.
Yeah.
I can't take credit for that. Those ladies up front are organized.
That is true. The ladies up front at the desk, they are absolutely awesome. So now then you have softball coming up after volleyball.
Yeah, so the way our sports leagues go is it's literally one sport after the next. There's very, very, very few breaks. So it'll start out January, we do youth basketball. Youth basketball goes through the end of February, early March. That's right when volleyball is in full swing. So then volleyball will go through, and registration for softball starts February. So the volleyball ends late March, beginning of April. Softball picks up right there at the beginning of April. We'll play April through July. We try to be done by July 4th, so it's not getting super hot out there. And then from July to August, we have a little break, and then we pick up our fall season of softball, and then that carries us right into youth basketball. So it's a year-long, we've got sports for everybody any time of the year.
Absolutely. And what's the age range on the softball team?
All of our adult leagues are the same. We allow players of 16 years and older, but we limit 16 to 18 years old to 2 players per team.
Oh, very good.
So, yeah.
Wow, that's great. So if you're hungry for sports, hey, Cottonwood's the place to be.
Yeah, come on out. We got something for you.
My gosh, what else do you guys have going on at the rec center these days?
We're gearing up for Looking Good Cottonwood right now. Trevor Faust, our fitness supervisor, he's right in the middle of that. He's inside of that stuff right now. It's super, it's a fun program. He's into it. We're starting all the registrations. The program starts up full swing here in just a matter of weeks. And then he'll be into that. And then we got the Brian Mickelson Memorial Run coming up April 16th.
Right.
So that's another one of our big events that's a year-long process to plan for.
That's true. Now tell me a little bit more about Looking Good Cottonwood. What does that entail?
Looking Good Cottonwood is a weight loss and fitness program that the city put on when we opened up the rec center. It's in its 4th or 5th year now. Trevor's got it running really, really smooth. But you can sign up as an individual, you can sign up as a team, and it's just it's a 3-month program, I think. To where you just go in, you track your fitness, you track your weight loss, and the difference from the beginning to the end is humongous, and all the participants. Wow. We lose hundreds of pounds each year as a group, the entire program as a whole, and it's an awesome program if you're looking for a way to get fit after the New Year's.
Right.
Looking Good Cottonwood's where you want to be.
Wow, absolutely. That sounds great. Right there, your New Year's resolution. If running isn't for you, or basketball or softball or volleyball, then Looking Good Cottonwood is definitely the thing to do. And is that all up on the website?
Yep, all that information's on the website, cottonwoodaz.gov. you'll just go into the Parks and Recreation tab from there, and we'll have all of our leagues, all of our sports leagues, the information on Looking Good Cottonwood, the Brian Mickelson stuff. So.
Yeah, it's a great website. Whomever does your website too does a really fabulous job because it's got all the information. It's easy to navigate, so that's good.
Yeah, it is pretty easy to navigate.
Yeah. So what have they got you specifically doing right now?
So right now we're right in the middle of youth basketball. We actually have our first practice games tomorrow. We have our jamboree tomorrow. So we'll be right in the middle of that, and then I'm getting all of our volleyball stuff together. And I'm starting. It's still a couple months out. We don't start till July, but I got the farmers market stuff coming up. We're working on designs for that. I'm trying to get all that stuff, trying to get the sponsors lined out, and so we're involved in everything right now.
Wow, that's what a recreation coordinator too does.
Yeah,
everything.
Something like that. You gotta have at least a working knowledge of everything. Don't have to be great at everything. Just a working knowledge of
everything. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I would like to say I have a working knowledge of some things.
Hey, come over. Be a rec coordinator.
Oh my gosh! Wow, it sounds like way too much work.
It is. It's a lot of long hours, but it's a really fulfilling and fun job.
It does look like you have a great time. How long have you been with the rec center now?
I've been with the rec center since we opened in 2010.
Wow. So. And such an amazing place.
It is.
Oh
it really is a good.
Absolutely. Here's your New Year's resolution. If you do nothing this year, rec center. It's fabulous.
Come on down. We'd love to have you guys.
Yeah, you guys have so many programs and so many fun things going on, and then all your classes that you have.
Yeah.
And the rock wall is way too much fun.
Yeah, we just did a bunch of new stuff for our game room too. So if the kids are looking for something to do, come on down. We just put a big old 55-inch TV in there, upgraded all the gaming systems.
Wow. Oh my gosh, don't tell my daughter that.
Yeah.
She'll be like, Mommy, we gotta go now.
She'll find out when she comes to the pool.
She will find out, and then I went, no, that's all I'm going to hear about.
We made sure to hang the TV right there. Walking through, all you see is this big TV now.
Evil. No, actually, that's a great thing. It really is a great thing.
We wanted to make sure that we had something there for those kids during the Christmas break, the spring break, all those breaks. We were realizing that, hey, we need a little bit something more for these kids to do while they're here. So tried to upgrade some things, make it more attractive for them.
Well, thank you for that.
Absolutely.
You guys already do a great job, but every improvement you make is more icing on the cake.
Yeah,
really
we really try.
That's great. Well, thank you, Jack. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Jack Teel, the Recreation Coordinator 2 for the city of Cottonwood, and it sounds like the everyman of everything sports.
A little bit of everything, I say.
Check out cottonwoodaz.gov for all that information, whether it was basketball, volleyball, softball, Looking Good Cottonwood, the Brian Mickelson Run, all the different events and programs that are going to be going on over at the Rec Center. It's really fabulous. Make sure you check it out. And don't go away, because we'll be right back. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you a question. When you think of the American Legion, what comes to mind? Is it the way we fight daily for our veterans to get them the benefits they've earned through their service?
I work hard every day to make sure that our veterans get the benefits they deserve. I am the American Legion.
For nearly 100 years, the American Legion has been our nation's leading advocate for veterans and their families.
I am the American Legion.
This is today's American Legion.
To learn more, visit legion.org.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. We are now here with Nikki Miller, who is the tournament organizer for the Benevet Bowling Fun Fest, along with Mike Jacobson, who is the tournament director of the Benevet Bowling Fun Fest. I love the name. That's
hard
just
to say.
so much fun. But it's fun, and it's the 7th annual.
Yes.
Good job, guys.
Yeah.
That is really something, Nikki.
We already have people getting their registrations into us, so that's they go after it. They say, okay, I want to be the first one in. So there's competition within some of the bowlers that we know.
Just to
nice.
register.
Yeah.
Wow, bowlers are a competitive group.
They are.
That's truly amazing. Now, the event is happening January 30th and 31st, but registration is going on right now. And if they go to, you have to look at the screen for this one. It's benevet.azmind.com. It's very important. You've got to type that in. Just type that in. Go right there. Don't Google it or anything. That's going to get them to the website. All good information and where they can register.
Right. get the forms and stuff. And it's a goofy tournament. And we used to call it a tournament. And all the people would say, I don't bowl that well, so I can't bowl in a tournament. And we would then have to explain how goofy it was. And so we decided to change it from tournament to Fun Fest so that people realize that this is not serious in any means, and it's supposed to be fun and to give some recognition to our wonderful veterans that are out there.
Yes, absolutely. Now, how did you come up with this idea?
Well, I'm a Purple Heart combat veteran from Vietnam, so I go over to the VA hospital, and in talking with some of the different people in the clinics, when we first were going over there, it was in the middle of the Depression. This is 7 years ago. This was way before all of the bad press and everything that the VA's gotten with the death list and all of that. But we used to work with the community development group, community services group at the VA hospital. They were very helpful in getting us in touch with people. Now that's all gone away, and now we have to directly go to the clinicians and ask stuff. We've been asked not to deal with those people directly. I go over there, there's really nothing they can stop me from doing. So we go over there, we find out what they need, I buy it, and we ship it to them, and they get what they need.
Wow.
Because the VA won't get them for them. It's
Right.
just that simple.
You guys are filling that very important, very horrible gap.
Very deep hole.
Yeah.
It was really an eye-opener for me the first year that we did it, taught to a physical therapist, and she said, I really need a hand therapy book, and I can't get it through the VA. And she was using a 1978 hand therapy book. And so it was $325 for this book, so that was one of our first purchases. And she was so excited about that, and it has a disc in the back, so it has clinicians that she can call when she's got special problems and stuff. And she tells us every time we're over there that she uses that book daily, and she asked for another one last year, so we got her another set. And so she is now updated, and as updated as she can be to help the veterans.
Wow, that's truly amazing. Now, how do you get the money? It's more than just registration. Registration's not going to do it.
Right. Well, what we do is we go out to get sponsors to help us, and so we are right now in the walking the streets getting our sponsors back. And the sponsors help us pay for the bowling because Cliff Castle Casino is gracious and lets us have the facility and gives us a discount, but we still do have to pay for the bowling fees and stuff. And so with us getting sponsorships and getting out to the bowlers, plus then we have hundreds of dollars worth of raffles. And so we make a lot of money on our awesome raffles.
Excellent. That's true. And you are raffling off this beautiful quilt that I am decorated with. Is absolutely gorgeous, and I love, thank you for matching my outfit today.
So far, 3 of them already.
This is so important. I know. This couldn't be nicer. And then you have another quilt there.
Well,
this is actually what we a lady made for us that we hang up at the event.
Wow, that's lovely.
And it's 3D. I don't know whether you can see it or not.
It's
but
challenging, but it's there. It's
people
gorgeous.
Throughout the whole community donate things to us. We've got artists that donate these beautiful wooden boxes that are inlaid with all kinds of different mother of pearl and stuff. It's a very unique event. People that go can't believe it. I mean, they've never been to anything like it.
Now, do they have to be present to
win?
No?
No.
Okay.
So what we've actually done is we have a 2-day event. So Saturday we have a table of raffle items, and that's just for Saturday. And so the people can come in and get into that raffle, and we will call off the winners at the end of the day for Saturday. And then we have a Sunday raffle, which will have equally as many. So we usually have 1 to 20 things on our tables, but that doesn't mean that they're not packaged. Like we may have a night stay someplace and tickets to something or whatever. And then we have a 2-day raffle ticket with the ideal, like the quilts and stuff, will be something that we put out, and people will be able to buy raffle tickets for those for 2 days, and then we will draw the winners after our event. And so the things that are special are unique are the things that we usually try to put on the 2-day table. Plus then we have a bigger raffle ticket items. If they buy $20 worth of raffle tickets, they get a special raffle colored ticket that they can put on our special event table where we'll have a bowling ball. We have a package in the past, a romance package from Flagstaff where they get to go on the railroad and then they have a stay. And so we have many, many things.
Sun's tickets from KVRD, which you guys are generous enough to donate.
We have, and like I said, it's a unique experience, and it's a bucket raffle. In other words, it's not like we're going to draw something out that you don't want. So you buy the tickets and then you go put them in what you want, so that you're not getting a pedicure if you're a guy, you know, something like that.
Hey, you know, guys with pedicures are all the rage right now, actually.
Put them in what you want.
Well, that is a very, very clever idea. And do you have a specific piece of equipment or a specific want that they've put forward that you're trying to fill this year?
Well, last year we were very saddened to find out that we had a piece of equipment that was needed by one of our rehab clinicians, but we had targeted neuropsych online last year so that we could, the hospital had 18 patients that was in this program at the cost of $5,400 for those 18 patients that we needed to fund. And so last year's goal was we wanted to raise enough money to fund them for a year. And when we got to the hospital, we found out that the combat veterans rehab facility had 2 treadmills that had been red flagged for safety issues. So he has no treadmill that he can use. I think he's still trying to use them, but if they ever take them away, he's in trouble. So he asked for a treadmill. Well, we didn't have the funding to do both. And so this year we are putting him on priority and hope that we can raise enough money. With the treadmill's $6,000 plus, and the neuropsych online, like I said, is $5,400. So we would love to raise $12,000 so that we can fund these things for them.
Yeah, we'd love to be able to fund both of them.
That would be great.
And one of the things that people need to know is that we're not wounded warriors. We're just the 2 of us.
Right.
And I buy the stuff, we get it in. American Legion, you make your checks out to the American Legion Post 93, and you mail them to me. That way I know how much we have. We take it over, they're our bank. I'll go buy what they need, ship it to them. I'll give the American Legion the invoice. They'll reimburse me for the money that I spend. So it's 100% benefit, and we've bought equipment that has got combat veterans out of wheelchairs and back into a productive lifestyle that the VA never would have purchased for them. So
that's amazing, Mike.
All you people out there, even if you don't bowl, get on that website and send a check for whatever you can afford, and know that it's going to go to a great cause.
Absolutely. Go to benevet.azmine.com. You're going to see everything you need to know there. Mike, thank you so much for your service.
Thank you.
Very much appreciate you. Thank you to all of our veterans very much for your service. Nikki, thank you for what you guys are doing here with the Benevet program. Really awesome work. Keep it up.
Well, thank you. Thank KVRD and Yavapai Broadcasting for everything that they do.
Sure. Very good.
They help us greatly. And so I want you to come bowl.
Okay. I'm not a good bowler, but that's okay. I'm humorous, so that's all that matters.
It's Fun Fest. It's not serious.
It is Fun Fest, so we'll see you at the Fun Fest. And don't go away, because we'll be right back with Ryan Bider. And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. I am now here with Barbie Edwards, who is a sound therapist, a counselor, and a sound healer, and many other extraordinary things. Thank you so much for meeting with us, Barbie.
Well, thank you. That was quite an introduction.
Oh,
I liked
you
it.
deserve it. You absolutely deserve that and more.
Oh, thank you.
You have this array of beautiful harps in front of us. Now tell us, how do you use your harps in sound therapy? Why are these so important?
Well, this is a genre of harp that is very beneficial in assisting people in feeling frequency. And generally speaking, I start with the Indian tuning, which is what this one is called. I'll just stroke it once so you'll hear the difference. Now, this particular harp works a lot with the lower chakras, and I'm assuming people know what chakras are. They're the energy centers that move up the body. And it also affects the nervous system a lot. So when you work with this harp and you place it on a body, what it does, it specifically works with the first chakra, second chakra, third chakra, the heart chakra, then up into the throat and into the crown.
All of that on one harp?
Exactly. It's 3.5 octaves, and that's the magic of the harps versus the bowls. The bowls go out further and make a difference for a long distance, which Vance may be talking about later. But the harps go 3.5 octaves, and so that makes a huge difference in the amount of different frequencies you can feel at one time, and the integration that causes in your field.
Right, and how exactly does that work?
Well, it's very fascinating. I would, can I have you sit right there for 2 seconds?
Sure.
Okay. I just want to show you that when I put this across your chest, that what this is doing is it's creating a space that the sound then goes into the body. Now, what they've shown is that sound through the air is 1 time powerful. Sound through water is 5 times powerful. And sound through a solid is 25 times more powerful.
Wow.
So when I strum the harp against the body, all that sound is going through the solid and is affecting your auric field, your physical body. It's balancing your left and right brain, and it only takes 5 to 10 minutes. And what it's done is it's integrated the left and right side, and it's brought you out of the back brain, which is more fear-based, into the frontal lobes. And what that does is it takes you out of fear and anxiety or stress or worry into the frontal lobes that has vision. Now, the outcome of that is that you start to come into your heart. You start to come into whole brain consciousness. And you make such better choices when you're in whole brain consciousness. Of
course.
And Greg Braden, he talks a lot about when we're in our heart, our beliefs start to change. And when those beliefs change, then the frequencies that go out through our whole body, including our bones, and that emanate into our world, change how people respond to us. And so that's why when we want to have a change of life, the more we can come into our heart, the more that we can assist ourselves and others in feeling those frequencies that change our lives.
Certainly, and it is truly about frequency. When it comes to music, and different musical instruments have different frequencies which light up different parts of the body and assist in healing, and of course gaining clarity, and really work with a host of different illnesses. In fact, it's said that, you know, if you have some sort of disease, it's a disorder, it's an inharmonious frequency happening in your body.
Exactly, it's affecting different organs of your body. And so what the harps do when they're placed against your chest and your back, when you lay somebody on a massage table, which I have a video on, that you can feel those frequencies go in, and they actually make pains disappear in less than 10 minutes.
Oh,
so it's phenomenal. And so if you were doing this on a regular basis, the frequencies are helping with chronic pain, degenerative illness. So when you're using frequency on a regular basis, your life changes and the frequencies in your house, in your space, change. And so when you change those frequencies, the interactions people have in those spaces change.
Sure.
Like teachers are using the harps and they play them before the students get there.
Makes a huge difference.
And so all those interactions of yesterday are wiped away.
Right.
And then how the students interact with the teacher is different. Particularly, it doesn't really actually matter. The young kids become more focused and more centered. The older kids that have more hormones going on and more hyperactivity going on, they calm down, which is another form of focus. But it looks different. And I had a teacher, actually a sound therapist and a counselor, say she would start her sessions just strumming her harp about 3 or 4 minutes as a client was there, a young boy. And she used the statement, she was dealing with adolescents that had some history of having problems with the law. And she'd say, the get-over artist, which is what she called them. When she played the harp 5 to 7 minutes in the background with them just doing what they're doing, they would all of a sudden start to be real. They would come from their heart instead of their strategies of what they thought was the right thing to say.
For sure.
And so that made a huge difference in her making a difference in their lives.
Of course, and music makes a huge difference in everyone's lives.
Exactly.
And whether it's sound therapy or simply just having music in your home, I know a lot of teachers that use musical instruments in the classroom. These are used for healing techniques in hospice care.
Exactly.
Now, I hear.
And they're also used, it's amazing, I'm going to talk about that in 2 seconds, but you gave me a thought. There was a movie called Alive Inside, which talked about when, and I saw it in my mother's case, she was in an Alzheimer's unit, and I'd bring the harps in, and people that looked like they were just comatose almost, not present. As soon as, within 10 minutes of playing the harp, what would happen is they'd become activated. Their left brain might not be the best part of their instrument anymore, but their right brain would come up, and all their memories and all their attention would start to blend with their left brain, and they would start to be functional again.
It's just amazing.
It is.
It's amazing work. Now, the harps are just one of many instruments you can use during sound therapy techniques and for healing, and you can do it on a personal level, or you could have a counselor with you or a teacher. I encourage you to get out there. There's a lot more to sound therapy and healing, and we're going to get to it. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just, please, don't leave. Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
I fell harder than a sinking ship, all the way to the floor where the light ain't lit. I fell harder than a sinking ship, all the way to the floor where the light ain't lit. Where the light ain't lit. Been feeling so afraid, maybe I should buy a gun so I can bring peace and love to everyone. Don't wanna start no war, that's what TV is for, so that we feel what we don't know. I fell harder than a sinking ship, all the way to the floor where the light ain't lit. I fell harder than a sinking ship, all the way to the floor where the light ain't lit. Where the light ain't lit. Where the light ain't lit. I think I'll build a wall around my heart for all, to keep out those not like me. See, it would be a shame without someone to blame for all the anger that I need. I fell harder than a sinking ship, all the way to the floor where the light ain't lit. I fell harder than a sinking ship, all the way to the floor where the light ain't lit. Ain't lit. Ain't lit. Who's a foe, who's a friend? Is it always us and them? Is this land really free? I said, who's a foe, who's a friend? Is it always us and them? Is this land really free? I fell harder than a sinking ship, all the way to the floor where the light ain't lit. I fell harder than a sinking ship, all the way to the floor where the light ain't lit. Ain't lit. Ain't lit. Been feeling so afraid, so I bought a gun. Now there is no peace for anyone.
Wow, that was beautiful. You're beautiful.
Thank you.
Why are you not in Hollywood? No offense. Why are you here? That was awesome. I love your style. I love how you play, your voice. You get into it with your face. I just love it. That was just awesome.
I've been told I'm quirky.
Quirky's wonderful. This is Ryan Biter, everyone. Did I forget to mention that? This is Ryan Biter, very talented young man. Thank you for coming down from Flagstaff to be on the show today. That's super awesome. I know that the drive is kind of fun, but really appreciate you coming all the way this way.
Thanks. Good to be here.
I know. And you play everywhere. If you go on this young man's Facebook page, you'll see this list that's 5 pages long of all the places that you've managed to play. It's really impressive.
Oh, thank you. We try to be out a couple times a month. Right now it's a little slower since the winter time, but when it gets kicking, I'm playing with the percussionist right now, and her and I tend to be pretty busy once we start moving. We're shooting to try to do at least once a week next year and play a little more. So that's been fun, and yeah. That's
great. Yeah, it's good to get out and play for sure. And as a musician, that's obviously the goal, but a lot of you don't manage to do that. So if you can do a set gig once a week, that's pretty awesome.
That's what we're hoping to do this year.
That's good. It's good to have intention for the new year. Now, your style is so unusual. How did you pick up that particular style? Because you jump back and forth between a lot of different things.
I'm a lover of all kinds of music. I mean, I grew up listening to old country music, stuff like Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings and Marty Robbins, that kind of stuff. And so growing up was a lot of country, and then I kind of branched out. I like everything. I like hip hop. I like kind of the folky stuff like Simon and Garfunkel. I like some heavy metal and some stuff like that. So I have a wide love of music, and I couldn't see just playing one genre. And some people, they do have their one genre, their sound, and I haven't quite figured that out yet, because I'm always torn, like, oh, do we do this soul thing? Do we do this blues thing? Do we do this folk thing or this pop thing? And but it keeps it fun for me, and makes it for, we don't get bored playing our set. We try to change it up from night to night and do a lot of different kind of music. So yeah, it's just listening to a bunch of different stuff and different types of instruments, and yeah.
Yeah, and you do play several different instruments actually, besides the guitar.
Yeah, guitar's the one I do the best. I play percussion as well. Not a percussionist in like the classical sense, but I do some hand drums and stuff with some local acts and stuff like that. And I play ukulele. And that's something I think I actually started that before the guitar. And I play a little bit of piano, but it's kind of just faking it. I mean, I just kind of fake pop tunes. And I have a few friends, a friend of mine who played on my album, her name's Bailey, and she's a phenomenal piano player. And she hears me play, she just kind of laughs and goes, okay, move aside and go play your guitar. So I play a couple different things and dabble, but guitar is kind of my main thing. Grew up playing saxophone, don't do that much anymore. So there's just always been something kind of in my hands. I would kind of go crazy if I didn't have a guitar or ukulele or a drum or something. It would, makes life better.
And your lyrics are awesome as well.
Oh, thanks.
It's really interesting. What do you find inspires you to write songs?
It can be from anything. I mean, sometimes they're simple. I have a song called Slow, and it's about a turtle. And it might be something silly like that, like a kid's type thing. Or there might be something going on from the world that kind of inspires me or gets me going. So it can be anything from that very, very kind of low level, I saw a turtle and I wanted to write a song about the turtle and its prospects. Or I saw something in the world and it really kind of moved me in a way. So there's a wide variety of topics I like to write about too. I don't like to get kind of pigeonholed into just love songs or just kind of socially engaged songs or just silly songs. I like to do a wide variety. So it can be anything. It can be people, it can be places, stories, books. I think everything's kind of ripe for creativity if you can do it. Sometimes you see something that you think will be really creative and helpful and it's not. And so you go down lots of roads too that don't always work, I think, with songwriting too. There's lots of failed projects. For every one good song you hear, there's like 20 that are just terrible.
Oh, well, you know, the thing about those one good songs, you can put them all together on an album, and you've got an album out.
Yes, I just put out a CD, and I'll show it so we can see what it looks like.
I like the title. It's very cool.
It is called Under After Avenue, and it has 7 original songs. It's recorded professionally in Flagstaff, and my wife did the album art, so you can kind of see the piece. It's kind of her first foray into that graphic design thing. I sell physical copies at gigs, and I also do have it up on a site called Bandcamp.
Yes,
so if you just look
that.
up on there. And for the month of December, there's a sale going on for it. So you can pick them up for really cheap just for December if people are interested. And
that's very cool.
I'm enjoying that. It's been a learning experience putting out a CD, but it's always something.
Oh, good for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you can check out Ryan on Facebook if you look up Ryan Biter on Facebook. Or you can we email you if we're interested?
Yes. I do booking through my email largely. It's Ryan, R-Y-A-N-J Biter, B-I-T-E-R at yahoo.com. And that's where I do the majority of my booking or by cell phone. But obviously contact me via email first. And
that works out great.
That's a good chunk of what I do. So and I'm available for all types of things and can fit into a lot of different kind of venues. And
that's wonderful.
We can be loud and we can also be tasteful. So
oh, tasteful rats.
Try to be.
But you're going to play another song for us and really enjoy having you here. Thank you so much. And thank you all very much for watching the show. As always, Happy New Year, and we'll see you next time.
Can't believe today came so soon. If you'll be my bride, I'll be your groom. They say this is our first dance. It ain't the last, though it feels like forever. We'll be sad that it passed. I won't trip on your dress if you don't step on my shoes. We'll sway left to right like we know how to do, and pretend that we can dance. Some friends had a wedding We did what friends do. We brought a card and a toaster and our new dance moves. She wore white, her bride wore blue. They smiled as they shuffled, just like we did too. She says, I won't trip on your dress if you don't step on my shoes. We'll sway left to right like we know how to do, and pretend that we can dance. Out on the floor with you. The camera don't care if we miss beats 1 and 2. So here we are at the end of our song. Though the music is fading, I won't dance alone. I remember our first dance. I guess this is the last. This ain't a goodbye. Thanks for the time that we had. I won't trip on your dress if you don't step on my shoes. We'll sway left to right like we know how to do, and pretend that we can dance. I won't trip on your dress if you don't step on my shoes. We'll sway left to right like we know how to do, and pretend that we can dance.